Hello and welcome to the last day of King John. Oh, so sad. It's been such a crazy soap opera of a play. It's been a lot of fun getting to know King John. Today we get to hear from Prince Henry in Act 5, Scene 7, because there's nothing like bringing the heir to the throne in for the very last scene of the play and giving him 29 lines. That lucky actor. Anyway, so the things that are happening, England and France were still kind of at war, and France was not doing so hot, and a couple of scenes ago, Louis the Dauphin was like, well, this kind of sucks that we're not doing so well, but I'm still gonna fight on for another day. And then Hubert found Philip the Bastard and said, the king, who's somewhere safe, was poisoned by a monk, and Philip is like, I gotta go and get to him before he dies, because the poison, I guess, doesn't work that quickly. It's not the same poison as in Romeo and Juliet. Sorry, spoilers. So Philip the Bastard has gone off to see the king, who is somewhere very sick. He is the king again. He's part of the church again because he made up with Cardinal Pandolf, blah, 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 blah. But last we heard, both sides were still sort of itching to go to war. So in Act 5, Scene 7, the final scene of the play, we start out with Prince Henry sort of lamenting his father's condition, and Salisbury and then Pembroke and then Bigot, or all three at once, something like that, they come in, and as part of the sort of lamenting the king's sickness, Prince Henry says, "Oh, vanity of sickness! Fierce extremes in their continuance will not feel themselves. Death, having preyed upon the outward parts, leaves them invisible, and his siege is now against the wind, the which he pricks and wounds with many legions of strange fantasies, which in their throng, and pressed to that last hold, confound themselves. 'Tis strange that death should sing. I am the signet to this pale swan, who chants a doleful hymn to his own death, and from the organ pipe of frailty sings his soul and body to their lasting rest." So just a little bit where, like, he's sad. He's sad about his dad, and he's basically just sad. The reference to "strange that death yet should sing" was a reference to the fact that the king seems to be like doing kind of sort of okay, but they've also heard from the king that he thinks he would feel better if he were to go outside. So they're like, bring him out into this orchard where they all happen to be, and the king comes outside and he's like, oh, I can breathe. And Prince Henry's like, so how are you doing? And he's like, I'm dying, you idiots. Why, what, do you not hear me that I'm dying, you bunch of useless people? And then Philip the Bastard comes in, and he's like, oh, thank goodness, my king, you're still alive. And King John is like, oh, thank goodness, you're here to tell me stuff. Like, give me some news. I need to hear some news. And Philip the Bastard is like, actually, the French army's kind of sort of knocking at the door, and things are not looking so great for you. And then King John dies. Like, he doesn't get to respond to any of that. He just plunk dies when he hears that the French are coming. And the rest of the guys standing around sort of mourn him, and King Henry's like, wow, this is really sad. And Prince Philip is like, I'm gonna get revenge for him, and then I'm also gonna die. And they're like, well, actually, you don't need to go get revenge on the French, because Cardinal Pandolf is actually here, and Louis the Dauphin just wants to get rid of him. So Louis the Dauphin has like sued for peace, and the English don't need to fight the French anymore. So we can just say that Prince Henry is king now and get on with our lives. And Philip the Bastard says some lovely patriotic things, and then the play ends. So it's a weird history. Shakespeare took some liberties with it. It paints a very interesting portrait of King John as being sort of wishy-washy but fiery, and not the most effective king, and his mother is sort of this puppet master, and they almost go to a war that they don't need to fight, and all this sort of thing. It's just it's very soap opera-y in terms of Shakespearean plays, which could be annoying if that's not what you want, but it could also be fun if you just lean in and say, oh, this play's gonna be crazy, and then you just go with the crazy. I would vote go with the crazy. So anyway, that's King John for you. And tomorrow we we get to start in on King Lear, which is kind of close to my heart. I got to play King Lear once, which was kind of a significant experience in my life. So I know the play pretty well. But I'm looking forward to digging into some of the other characters that I didn't play in it, and also trying to make all of it make sense for you. So subscribe, click the little bell there so that you get alerts when the new videos go up, and I will see you tomorrow for new play day as we get into King Lear. I'll see you then. Mwah.